and singer.
Sagicor, building trust for generations.
Celebrating 55 years.
The time by Sagicor is
7 o'clock.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, JCTU warns of public sector disruptions amid delays. Gas truck fire sparks panic along the industrial belt. PNP General Secretary insists JLP is afraid to call the election. JLP eyes PNP enclave in St. Anne Southeast. In the business report, building young entrepreneurs from the classroom. And in sports, there is so much more to come. Do stay with us for that. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Monday, June 23, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks so much for having joined us. Well, a massive blaze broke out early this afternoon along Spanish Town Road in Kingston near the Riverton dump, caused by a gas truck in the area, sending panic through the industrial belt. Firefighters were dispatched to the scene to contain the rapidly spreading flames. Angela Melville has the details.
Over 5 fire units and more than 35 firefighters were dispatched to the scene to contain the rapidly spreading inferno caused by a Fesco gas truck.
Presently, an incident scene at Spanish Town Road, 591 Agro. We were called to an incident at around approximately 11:58 a.m. with a tanker on fire on the roadway. We quickly responded with units from Trenchtown, Halfway Tree, and York Park. We got on the scene, we saw the tanker on fire, and we quickly got into operation and were able to contain and eventually extinguish.
The flames engulfed part of a bedding company and threatened to spread to several neighboring businesses, including the Afro World Farm Store. The responders fought for almost 2 hours to get the fire under control as heavy smoke choked the skies and caused traffic disruptions in the area, resulting in a late afternoon gridlock that stretched 4 miles.
That truck there, right? You know, if I drive that with my explosion, by the time I come out, you know, if I drive that one, I'm going to run with the fire extinguisher, right? And the fire there between 2 wheels. But this is driving the fire time truck that takes too long to come, worry about this about now. Saying so, and the building now, just the most of the building in the truck, make a big explosion, eat, get over the fire. That's where you go.
No fatalities were reported. However, several structures suffered extensive damage. Angela Melville, CVM News.
And there could be fresh disruptions across the public sector as tensions rise between the government and the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, the JCTU. In a letter addressed to Finance Minister Favour Williams, the JCTU expressed frustration over the ministry's failure to respond to an earlier request for a meeting dated June 12. The unions say the delay has left public sector workers feeling disrespected and ignored. JCTU President St. Patrice Ennis says if a meeting is not scheduled by Wednesday, June 25, the Confederation cannot guarantee continued normalcy across the public sector. CVM News understands that the Ministry of Finance is yet to issue a response. With the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season now officially underway, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation says it's not waiting for disaster to strike. Kingston's Mayor Andrew Swaby says the capital city is ready. Akeem Oret has the story.
From clearing drains to educating residents, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, says it has been hard at work since May to prepare for what is forecast to be an above-average hurricane season.
The KSAMC itself has started to conduct their drain cleaning investigation. Where we establish the critical drains and having established critical drains to put a price to it, and then we will be going out to make sure that these drains are clean, that in the event of any heavy rain, that less flooding takes place.
In the case of a hurricane, Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby says spaces have been identified for residents whose homes may be severely impacted.
We have identified the shelters, and we will be going also on a shelter managers training. Most of the shelter managers are persons who have been done it as a shelter manager before, but it's good to have a refresher course from time to time.
Forecasters predict this 2025 hurricane season could potentially be a dangerous one. Akeem Oret, CVM News.
The Factories Corporation of Jamaica, FCJ, has completed Phase 1 of the Garmex Free Zone Redevelopment and Expansion Project. The $1.3 billion project was fully funded by the FCJ. Of course, we'll take that story later on. Hope is rising for the Jamaica Labour Party in St. Anne's Southeast, a bastion of the People's National Party for over 81 years. However, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says given his party's work and track record around the country and within the parish, the close margin of 2020 is indicative of a shift towards the JLP.
Confidence is a suit most politicians don entering an election season. And for the JLP caretaker candidate now in place in St. Anne's Southeastern, under the green banner, he's fully attired, not in envy, but with hopes.
I don't regret my decision, and I will work very hard for you, and I will take home Southeast St. Anne in the column of the Jamaica Labour Party. Show our labour rights.
It's a seat held over 8 decades by the People's National Party and last held by former Miss World turned politician Lisa Hanna. And while Hanna will not seek a three-peat, the opposition's Dr. Kenneth Russell, an education specialist, is confident he will keep the win under the orange column. However, Central Manchester's Rhoda Moy Crawford reminds the JLP has been gaining ground in the seat.
We rescued constituencies that the PNP held for 30-odd and 40-odd years, and we have been delivering record performances that has never before seen in those constituencies. What we have been able to deliver in 4 years was never delivered by the PNP representatives in 30-odd and 40-odd years. Now you have a chance to see development like you have never seen before. The ball is in your court. The choice is yours. If you want to better your lives and move your constituency forward, you have one choice. When you get to the polling stations on election day, put your X beside the bell, beside Eddie and Peart.
The Prime Minister's message is clear.
I don't subscribe to the view that there are certain seats that can never be won. No. It all depends on the campaign. It depends on the organization. It depends on the energy and the effort that you are willing to put in. You would have seen that in 2020, this seat, which was considered a bastion, almost a garrison.
He's assured with the right approach and organization, Peart can bring home a historic win. This as he made the argument for why his third term will augur well for the people of Jamaica. From promised rural school bus systems to reminders of lowering electricity bills and urban centers.
St. Thomas will now have a new, stronger economy. The people there are going to get more jobs. More services are going to come to them. Their household income is going to grow. And that parish is set to take off. And we are going to go parish by parish by parish and build up your parish economy. Put you in a better position to earn more income, to get better service, and to fulfill the dreams that you have had, whether it is to own your own house, to get your children educated. For some people, they just want to own a little car or a piece of land.
He insists better people will always flock to the better politics under the JLP and avoid the, quote, toxicity elsewhere. He assures the JLP under his leadership will continue on the gains made to encourage growth.
And the People's National Party is confident in regaining the Kingston Central and the East Rural St. Andrew seats. General Secretary for the PNP, Dr. Dayton Campbell, says PNP supporters have a duty to get rid of the Andrew Holness-led administration.
General Secretary of the People's National Party, Dr. Dayton Campbell, is again calling on supporters to ensure the Andrew Holness-led government is removed from office. The firebrand Gen Sec, while denouncing the government's stewardship at the Norman Garden Divisional Conference on Sunday, says ensuring the PNP forms the next government is crucial.
We have a duty, Congress. We have a duty. I hope you understand the assignment. We have to get rid of this man, you know.
He has fired back at the JLP's Desmond McKenzie, who earlier suggested the government would not surrender Jamaica to the PNP, a statement that has not gone down well with the opposition.
We don't ask no permission of Desmond McKenzie. No, I want you to understand something. I have never seen somebody surrender from a position of advantage. Never. Every time when somebody surrenders when they're under pressure, they're showing it away. When you are leading and in the ascendancy, surrender in your vocabulary. Surrender to the persons who are loose. So Desmond is admitting that Labour Party are a heavy man.
He's confident the PNP will regain the Central Kingston and St. Andrew East rural constituencies.
We can't left them with Central Kingston. It is Michael Manley constituency we are taking up. I first Mrs. Money and dealing with a political grave. The woman is building her political grave because when the election over, we are going to put up a green casket and write upon the party, and we are going to write a graveside, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, the end of Juliet Wallace in East Rural.
Daniela McLaughlin for CVM News.
Stay with us for so much more news in just a moment.
I am made for more. That's why I got a JN Bank small business loan to open my salon and build my dream with my style. Now I am my own boss, popping my own style and trending up.
Start your journey with a Jane Bank Small Business Loan with small business loans with as little as $10,000 and up to $4 million. Visit janebank.com or contact us on WhatsApp 876-295-1298 to get started. Jane Bank, we will help you find a way.
Yo, genius! We just get the Burger King Double King combo. One original chicken sandwich plus a Whopper Junior with cheese. Well, 2 sandwiches enough. Plus a small fries and soda for only $1,300.
You use the new rubber money. You did say the money can stretch a Burger King.
Me mean you get more food for your money. Oh. 1 combo, 2 sandwiches.
So you want I gotta eat whole of 2 sandwich, brother? My belly can stretch, you know.
Get the BK Double King combo, limited time only at Burger King.
Come and tell me what is bothering you, Krishna. Come on.
If Mummy wins tomorrow's competition, then she will leave and take me away.
I won't allow that.
So the court gives the order that from today, Krishna's legal guardian will be her father, Mr. Sagar Chaturvedi.
I don't want to hear Ganga's name again as long as I live.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
Thanks so much for staying with us. We continue the news. As the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, shores up support in marginal seats across the island, the focus has also intensified on a strategic offensive led by Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie. The JLP's campaign is targeting constituencies traditionally held by the People's National Party, PNP, within Area Council 1, which encompasses the critical St. Andrew constituencies. The party was in St. Andrew Western on Sunday, introducing a new candidate. With more, here's Andre Jebinson.
The Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, is setting its sights on St. Andrew Western, a constituency that has been a stronghold for the People's National Party, PNP, for numerous election cycles. The current Member of Parliament is Anthony Hilton. Corey Dunkley, a 31-year-old attorney at law, believes he can unseat Hilton when the constituents go to the polls later this year.
Everyone here can see what has been happening in the constituency and knows the shortcomings, the misrepresentation, and the downright laziness of the guy that is there right now.
Hilton's tenure in St. Andrew Western began in 1993, the same year Dunkley was born. Dunkley observed that, in his view, not much has changed in the constituency since, but he acknowledged the challenge ahead.
We are on the verge of history. History for the party, history for the constituency, history for Jamaica.
History will make you know. History will make you know, dear. Rubbing yourself, dry your face for the tears.
Don't make anybody discourage you and tell you that you shouldn't choose progress. You shouldn't choose prosperity. And you shouldn't want better for your country.
Dunkley's foray into politics, though recent, has already garnered attention. Earlier this year, he sought to represent Clarendon Northwestern, where he has family ties. However, Warren Newby prevailed in the selection process.
It was very often for people to characterize the JLP as fractious and divisive. And in particular, when you have selections. My presence here today is to assure you that there was no division between me and Corey Dunkley.
Senator Marlon Morgan commended Dunkley for sticking around, albeit far from where he first had intentions to run.
Because you have some people labor rights. If things don't quite work out in the way they want it to work out, then get vexed, then pick up them marbles, then turn them back on the team, and then try to tear down. But Corey is distinguishing himself as a good and firm team player, and we big him up every time.
Hilton's electoral victories in St. Andrew Western have been consistent. In the 2020 election, Hilton won by a margin of 1,523 votes. The margin was down from 3,160 in 2016, 5,150 in 2011, and 2,999 in 2007. Andre Jebinson, CVM News.
While in a major boost for education in rural St. Mary, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced plans for the Jeffreytown Primary School as the government continues its push to modernize learning environments across the country. Akeem Oret picks up that report.
After years of wear and tear, the Jeffreytown Primary School in St. Mary is finally set to receive a long overdue upgrade. During a visit, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness told school officials that the current structure has served its purpose and it's time to make way for a new facility.
You have managed to survive for a long time, since 1998, in a makeshift facility. It has held up fairly well, but it has reached its useful life. In other words, this building could not go much further.
The Prime Minister revealed that funds are already set in place for the construction of the new building, part of a broader commitment to improve educational infrastructure, especially in rural communities.
The funds have been allocated, and it is in our capital budget to develop and build the new Jeffreytown primary and infant school. Finally,
Dr. Holness said the construction of the new plant will begin soon. Akeem Oret, CVM News.
Stay with us, there's still more to come.
It's just joy and niceness whenever we get together. And that smile on your face is something to treasure. Grateful that in these special moments, I'm the one that you always chosen.
Thank you, Jamaica, for 50 years of finger-licking good memories. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Yeah.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Welcome back. The Dunrobin Christian Academy is ensuring students aren't just learning math and reading. They're also learning how to build businesses as part of a special Business Basics initiative. The students have stepped into the world of entrepreneurship, guided by facilitators who are passionate about developing their potential beyond the traditional classroom.
It's not your average school day at Dunrobin Christian Academy. Here, young minds are being molded into future CEOs. The school's Business Basics program is in its second year, designed to plant the seeds of entrepreneurship early.
The purpose of it really is to introduce our young ones to entrepreneurship and the benefits of entrepreneurship, because they are caught up in this thing that they only focus more on the traditional careers, right? But this helps them to understand that outside of the traditional career, they can use their talents, their skills to generate extra income.
The idea was brought to life by a parent, Sean Stolz, who saw value in exposing students to business ownership early, helping them see possibilities outside the traditional 9-to-5 jobs.
And we know this is Jamaica, and 9-to-5 alone sometimes it cannot do. So exposing them to other things that can have them generate extra income is something that they can also tap into, to increase their profitability.
Students spent weeks learning how to create, market, and sell their own products. While some students were eager to jump in, others had to be convinced, especially fresh off their PEP exams. But Stolz found a creative way to reach them.
That the parents did play an integral part as well, because they were the ones who provided the funding, the support. Because sometimes we have the children, they're demotivated, and sometimes the parents are the ones who they will go and they rally on, and they say, "Mommy, you know, I have this business venture, I need you to help with some money." I even hear a student asking the parent the other day, "Daddy, you need to give me $30,000, I need to invest in my business." You know, so the parents played a very integral role, you know, in guiding them and supporting them along the way.
And they certainly did. With their ideas ready and their confidence growing, the students proudly introduced their businesses.
I came up with this idea about selling slushies, and they will chime in and say, "Sure, let's just sell the slushies." Then I started asking them to sell different things. Like we were going to sell some other things, but we had to limit it down to 3 things. So we're selling candy kebabs and slushy, also kebabs.
Okay, and how is it going this morning? How has it been going?
It's been going good. Yeah, because a lot of customers came and buy our lot.
So we go class to class, or we walk around where we see children or adults, and then we ask them, "Would you like to go to Sugar Rush Street and try our smoothies, or candy if they like candy, or ice cream?"
Okay, so we have different flavors of candy mix. We have different flavors of Jelly Ranchers, we have Spearheads, we have Welchies, we have lollipops. We have a lot of things. And there's different sizes for the candy mix. For large is 200 and for small is 150.
Okay, so how did you come up with this business idea?
Because most people would like one thing, but you don't want one thing, you want a lot of things in one bag. So we came up with this idea because we wanted something that not only could make us happy, but us as students. We wanted something cute and neat, so we decided on the name Tiny Treats and Treasures, and that also helped us decide what we were going to sell in our business.
The Business Basics Initiative isn't just a one-day event. It's a foundation for lifelong learning. And for these students, it's clear the future is bright and possibly bossed up.
We take a break. Stay with us.
The gateway for Jamaica's athletes to several international competitions, including the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan, opens from Thursday, June 26 to Sunday, June 29 for the J3A Junior and Senior National Championships at the National Stadium, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. each day. Admission, finish area season ticket, $8,000. Daily, $1,000 to $3,000. Regular grandstand season ticket, $6,500. Daily, $1,000 to $2,500. Tickets go on sale at MysticOnlineTix.com. Starting June 11, Pegasus Hotel and the Stadium Ticket Office. Starting Monday, June 23. The action will be sizzling.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight.
I'm not here to take someone's place. I am Ganga, and I have my own identity. Radhika needs you now. Please sit with her and go assure her that no matter what happens, you will never leave her side.
Handling the accounts of this is my responsibility. I will find out why this money is unaccounted for.
You have one night to make sure that you carry out your duties properly, Shiv, because from tomorrow, you will no longer have a role to play here.
No one is allowed to touch Parvati's things no matter what. No one at all. Least of all you.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
The future belongs to the bold, to those ready to realign with purpose and prosperity. Realign 2025 connects Africa and the Caribbean, where innovation meets investment. Featuring Senator the Honorable Audrey Marks, Nigerian Ambassador Janet Olisa, David Mullings, Anthony Hilton, and Christopher Denny. For SMEs, funding partnerships and global market entry. June 25 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Realign with your destiny. Register now at entrepreneurship.com/re-align.
50 years of finger-licking good memories, yeah.
The time by KFC is
7:30.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Let's take a look now at regional and international news. We begin with the news in the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, a worrying spike in vehicle thefts has been reported across South and East Trinidad, with at least 6 cars stolen in just 24 hours. That's according to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Here's Trinidad and Tobago News.
The first incident occurred in the San Fernando Police District, involving a silver Nissan 80 wagon valued at $45,000. In the Gasparillo Police District, a 28-year-old pharmacist discovered a dark gray Kia Cerato valued at $103,000 missing. The vehicle was later found stripped in San Juan. In Valencia, a silver Nissan B14 valued at $10,000 was reported stolen from an open yard at Paradise Lane. Meantime, in the Tunapuna Police District, a white Nissan Tida valued at $35,000 was stolen in Monte Grande, St. Augustine, and later recovered damaged at Venus Drive in Mokoya.
In international news, sounds of loud explosions have been heard over Doha shortly after Qatar closed its airspace. Iran has fired missiles toward the U.S. base in Qatar, following Tehran's threat to retaliate against the U.S.'s strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Iran media says the retaliation against the United States base Al Udeid in Qatar and American bases in Iraq has begun. More from Al Jazeera.
Well, it seems that this is the beginning of an Iranian retaliation towards American bases in the Gulf. We've heard and saw pictures from Qatar. Also, there are reports from Iraq. Now there are reports of sirens in Bahrain. So it seems these missile launches are targeting several bases around the Gulf. The Iranians say that this is in retaliation to the United States attack on the 3 nuclear sites on Sunday morning. And for now, we are not sure what's the scope and what's the timing. I mean, how much will this continue, or it's going to be a one hit and that's it? And of course, whether this is also going to be a pretext for the United States to retaliate or to enter the war, this is something no one knows. It's just part of the analysis. Now, many analysts think that this could be a kind of a choreographed attack that is being, I mean, the Americans are informed in advance, just like in 2020 when Iran retaliated to the killing of General Soleimani, and the Iranian knowing in advance of the attack on Fordo. But these are just speculations. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen just after these attacks. And then we will know what's the posture, what's the status quo. But this is unprecedented, of course.
Of course, it is unprecedented. There was talk of Iran retaliating, as you say, against the U.S. strikes on its 3 nuclear sites in Iran. However, the U.S. warned that if it did, there would be severe retaliation in response. So many people believed that Iran might actually do an alternative retaliation, something covert, something cyber, something like closing the Strait of Hormuz. The region was on alert. The US bases in the region were on alert. But it's hard to believe that actually this was going to happen, that Iran was going to go through with escalating this conflict in the way it has.
Well, the fact is that the whole situation is escalated. It's been escalated since yesterday dawn when the nuclear facilities were attacked.
That's it for regional and international news. And yet it's only the beginning of what's to come in sports, and we have Ronaldo Adams joining us for that.
Good evening, Nika, and good evening, viewers. So, amid the reports last week, amid the Jamaican athletes switching allegiance to Turkey, the J3's president, Garth Gale, has finally broken his silence. We'll show you what he said in sports this evening. And of course, Jamaica's Reggae Boys, they face Panama tomorrow on Tuesday in the final group stage game of Group C in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. We'll also be previewing that. And of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won the National Basketball Association Championship last evening. Lots to come in sports, so do stay tuned.
And that's even if you're not an OKC fan. Stay with us right after the break.
Truth is, HIV affects everyone. Truth is, avoiding care leads to a weaker immune system. That means you could get really sick. The truth is, the hardest pill to swallow isn't the medication. It's the problems that follow when you don't take them. Let's get through this together. Remain in care. You can live life to the fullest with HIV. And that's the truth. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Come rise with sunrise. Spend your Tuesday morning with Miss Kitty and Dennis. First up, we're in the kitchen with the Bird Shack crew. Then it's a tech time featuring Jamaica's first AI cop. We've got some edutainment in Fully Bright. Then we'll wrap your morning with sunrise freshers. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It's now time for sports. I am Ronaldo Adams. Well, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with some sports. Jamaica battles Panama on Tuesday at the Q2 Stadium in Austin, Texas, in the United States, in a must-win Group C encounter in the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. The Reggae Boys sit second and need a win and better goal difference to top Group C. Panama leads the group, unbeaten with 6 goals scored and just 2 conceded. Though Panama holds a 6-2 edge in their last 10 meetings, Jamaica famously beat them in the 2019 Gold Cup quarterfinals.
The message is obviously the work, the graft, the shape, because obviously in the last couple of games